Lil Durk was one of the rappers that was poised to be a star from Chicago during the rise of the drill music scene. However, unlike his peer at the time, Chief Keef, who was able to use that opportunity to release an album under the major label and was able to keep a cult fanbase happy while constantly releasing music over the 2010s. Lil Durk was not able to make as big as an impact as Chief Keef. Now, with a whole new generation of rappers that is now using the sound from Atlanta, a melodic and smooth sound that is more in tune with Durk's auto-tuned drill style, and with other younger rising stars coming out from the city like Polo G, Lil Durk might have finally found his voice in a style that is popular in the mainstream rap world, being featured on Cry Now, Laugh Later with Drake, and having the song reach number 2 on the Billboard charts. The year 2020 should have been the best year for the Chicago rapper. However, as usual, everything is not good with the self-proclaimed Jay-Z from the city of Chicago in the year 2020. The rising star came on as Lil Durk's protege and friend has just died because of a shooting from their longtime rival gang. And as sad as this sounds, it looks like the label is using this chance to promote Lil Durk more, because while it looks like the album is a send-off for Durk's friend, it also looks like this is just another cash grab for the label as well from an outside perspective. Lil Durk has always had a sound that is more pop-orientated compared to his contemporaries, with a voice that is often auto-tuned. So far, it might have been comparable to T-Pain at times. However, as opposed to fine-tuning that sound to a unique style that no one could replicate, he instead opted for copying the sound of the Atlanta streets. His voice now is more pulled back and smooth, and at times shifting between pitches back and forth in the same verse. This style gives off a silent killer type of vibe, where he is trying his hardest to stay chill, but his murderous, gritty lyrics still comes through over the sad melodic beats. At times, he also chooses to go with no auto-tune in his voice, calling himself No Auto Durk, showing off the tougher sides of his voice. The way he rhymes now is also different. It is now more like the other rising star from Chicago, Polo G, where he is now displaying his street lifestyle with a hint of sadness behind it. The difference between Polo G and Lil Durk's flair in the rhymes is how Durk is romanticizing the street life in his songs. He chooses to call himself the voice now, and it represents the streets and trenches that he lives in. He speaks about love and loss that is familiar and vague at the same time, so that more listeners are able to resonate with him. Before we dive further into the album, let's look at the cover. The cover of this album shows off a picture of Lil Durk and K1, showing that this album is in a way a send-off for the death of this friend. And as the album opens with Durk talking about the red man and a red van, following that up with a line about Xans. And as we keep on listening, we will soon understand that because his friends keep dying, he will keep taking drugs, and slowly they will lose their effect on him. He also questions his future here in the song, because he sees himself in jail in the near future as well. On the song Death Ain't Easy, it opens up with a voice memo from K1 telling us that you can't be fake around him and his friends. And then abruptly, the hook of the song begins with Durk veiling the hook of the song, asking who told him that death is an easy thing to deal with. I think that the start of the album here is really strong and effective, with Lil Durk giving the listeners a chance to understand his mindset as he opens the album with songs that are close to his personal life. The song that the album is named after, The Voice, might be the best song that Lil Durk have to offer for us on this album. In this song, he describes his memories of the street and what it is like to be from there in an almost poetic way. In the song, he tells us about how the streets has raised him and to become the voice of the streets, from the sleepless nights to becoming the pillar that is supporting his community. This song really shows off the songwriting abilities that Lil Durk have, with many vague comparisons that are close to the writer's heart, but still vague enough that the listeners have the chance to have a glimpse into the rough street life. On the song Backdoor, Durk tells us about his city where he has many family members and foes as well, so he has to keep guns around him. And one of the best lines on this album is on the song as well, with the line, "In the trenches, I feel the safest." Still Trapping, featuring King Von, shows off a great send-off verse from King Von. The duo spits killer rhymes that will live on in the minds of many fans. Stay Down is a great low-key banger with a great hook from Six Flag and a feature verse from Young Thug. They didn't overstay their welcome on the song, so that's what makes that song great. YNW Melly turned in a great verse on the next song, Free Jamel. However, his verse might be too long. The hook is really good in my opinion though. The next few songs feel a little samey with a similar subject matter, but a great line came through on the song Not the Same, where he said, "I am making love song to the streets." Make sure my mic right. The album picks it back up at the end again with the last song, To Be Honest, with a great song structure where the verses are really boastful, but the hooks show off how emotionally damaged he is by the things that he supposedly is really proud of. The album overall is a great reintroduction to the mainstream for him. After the great but short feature on the Drake song, fans can now go into this album and find more of what Lil Durk can offer. The album starts off really strong, although the middle end falls off a bit. The ending of the album is really good by tying off the themes of the album really well. Although Lil Durk finds a sound that is pretty typical of the rap landscape now, but he used that to his advantage to show off emotional songwritings that are not typical for rappers in his genre. This album gives Lil Durk a chance to prove that he has more to offer for diehard fans as well as new fans. The voice that Lil Durk finds and becomes is a great new beginning for him.